Okay, let's look at question number 6A. Alpha owns 100% of the minerals and conveys a 3% royalty to Bravo, and then conveys 50% of the minerals to Charlie, subject to the prior reservation of 3% royalty. Alpha and Charlie then lease to Delta and Echo respectively. Delta and Echo respectively. So the question is, who bears this 3% royalty interest here? So let's analyze the problem. And we'll start with saying Alpha owns 100% of the minerals. And he conveys a 3% royalty interest to B, to Bravo. So Bravo now becomes a non-participating royalty interest owner. Then Alpha conveys 50% of the minerals to Charlie, subject to that prior reservation of 3%. And so that means now A has 50% of the minerals and C has 50% of the minerals. Okay? Then Alpha and Charlie lease to Delta. So A is going to lease to Delta. And then C is going to lease to Delta. Okay? So the question is, who's going to pay that 3% royalty interest? Well, we know that A created the royalty interest, but she created it when she had 100% mineral interest. Now that she has only 50%, A has 50% and C has 50%, the people that are going to split that royalty interest are the current mineral owners, according to their mineral ownership. So that means half of this 3% override is going to be paid by A, and the other 0.5% of the 3% override is going to be paid by C. Okay? Now, ultimately, what's going to happen is the oil and gas company is going to make this payment to Bravo, but they're going to deduct it from A and C's royalty payment. So that's what it means when it says who bears the 3% non-participating royalty interest. Not who's going to pay it, but whose interest it's going to come out of. So what we've learned here, that if we're talking about a non-participating royalty interest reservation, that is going to come out of the mineral owner's percentage of the lease, of the royalty in the lease. If we're talking about an overriding royalty interest, that is carved out of the working interest owner's working interest. So that's the main difference between a non-participating royalty interest and an overriding royalty interest. One comes out of the working interest owner's share, and the other comes out of the mineral owner's royalty payment.